Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV, Rex Arthur Show, the LGBTQ channel that discusses LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ approach in an LGBTQ planet and with a humanistic approach. And today we want to discuss something just off the cuff, thinking and about LGBTQ youth and old, you know, the LGBTQ seniors. And it's very interesting that we have very varied LGBTQ persons from birth to death to old age. And most people, whenever they think about LGBTQ rights, they only think about it in terms of in terms of age, the middle age, the age where people are sexually active, but they don't think about LGBTQ lifestyle, sexually active, but they don't think about LGBTQ lifestyle before you're sexually active and after you have finished your sexual activity. Yet it matters. One thing that matters is, like, as I've told you, people are born LGBTQ. Yes, that is true. And very small things, like even how your child cries. Do you know, you'll find some children are crying, crying, crying. And who knows? That's a sign that that child is LGBTQ. And some of them, they have a funny behavior and they're babies, but they could be certain traits that show your child is LGBTQ. But he hasn't been sexually active. Then others tend to show certain signs, then they grow up, and then when they become adults at the age of 18, or roughly 18, 16, then they can make up their own decisions. This is why I strongly support, I stand with the statement that when your child reaches 18 or 20, please give them a break. Yes, let them be who they are, let them make their choices, and be more adversarial to them, advising them rather than forcing them to do something you want them to do. Like, you can have a child who's 25 years old and you force him not to go to the club because you don't like going to the club. You are an old person. As an old parent, it doesn't make sense. You are really affecting and attacking that child on no basis. The child is an adult. You can tell a child who is 12 years old not to go to the club, and there you have every right, because that's a child. He's not mature, can't reason. But an adult can reason. So you would not it's not right for you to restrict a reasoning human being. They all have reasons as to why they want to go to the club, why they want to drink. So that age, after 20 years old, 18, personally, I don't advocate for restricting a human being. Let him do what he needs to do. He's a reasoning being. Yes, that's the thing. He's mature in reasoning. So that's what people should know about LGBT people. And LGBT lifestyle begins at birth. It's just that when you're 1 to 4 years old, there's really no culture you have of being LGBTQ. It's not there. It's in the nursery stages. It's like you can't eat a mango tree, a mango fruit, when it is a seedling. Yes, you can't. You have to wait for the tree to grow, then it becomes a mango fruit, then you eat the mango fruit from the mango tree. So that's what people need to understand about life, that LGBTQ people, they will show their expression and their lifestyle when they mature and grow up and blossom to be who they are. I was telling somebody that we are not the same, in the sense that some people, when you knew who you are when you're a young person, you didn't know the terms. We didn't know the terms of that. I am gay or I'm transgender. Nobody knew those terms. We just were living life, but you had the feelings. Your life was just there. You had it, and everybody knew and would be saying funny things about you, but they never knew what you were. So that's the fact. But when you grow older, you get the terms, you understand the language, you understand the culture, you even know how to have sex. Because you can't tell me a 5-year-old knows how to have sex better than a 25-year-old. No, they know it. The 25-year-old knows it better because they're mature and their bodies are even mature. They are at the right stage to having proper sex and doing it well. So that's what we have to understand about LGBTQ lifespan. That they are children, they are teenagers, and then they are adults, and then seniors. These are old people. And now the old people, many of them, some of them, they are not so active sexually, but they are still LGBTQ. And they also have the excitement, but it's at a less level and small level. So I just wanted to kind of throw a thought there to people out there that you need to understand when you're dealing with the LGBTQ children out there, be understanding of them, especially those who have finished, who've passed 18 years old and are 20. It is good to give them their space because they have reached a reasoning age, and don't force them to be children. No, they know what they're doing, and spend time to talk to them as a parent. Be a friend to your LGBTQ child. How you communicate to LGBTQ youth is not how you communicate to straight youth. This communication is different. So you have to learn how to read. And this is why I'm encouraging LGBTQ writers and academics to write books about how to raise your LGBTQ children, how to talk to them, how to communicate with them, how to understand them, how to appreciate them. Right now, Tim Cook is like a father to the LGBTQ people because he's the only one who encourages. I rarely hear that. And I really love him for that because that's what you need to do to LGBTQ children. You have to appreciate them, tell them they are loved, build their self-esteem. You will see suicide rates will drop. They will drop because they now know someone loves them, someone appreciates them, that what they are doing a good job. But if you hate your LGBTQ young child, 80% they are going to commit suicide, and they will do things that you didn't want them to do. So this was just a nugget out there for you to understand the lifespan of the LGBTQ persons all over the world, and enjoy your lifespan. If you're old and a senior, that's who you are. If you're young, keep on making friends with everybody, and don't let somebody restrict you for being who you are. That is your life, and it's who you are. You're uniquely made that way, and you have the power in your hands to shape your life the way you want it to be. And no one should come and tell you, especially if you're past 18, because my point was, when you're past 18 years old, past 20 years old, you're really an adult, and you can reason, and everything you're doing has a reason. Yes. And some people may say, the reason your reasons are bad. No, it's still a reason. But a 6-year-old cannot give you reasons that are concrete. And even if they do, they are reasons that are put under the parental care. But a 26-year-old, 27 years old, when he gives you reasons, please take them. They are solid reasons, and nobody should attack any youth that makes those reasons, makes decisions based on his own reasons, because his capacity of reasoning is his. And this is why I always tell people, when you have a diverse range of children, you will always have a diverse range of communicating with them, The problem of human beings, they don't like general, they don't know how to converse with people because they converse with people generally, just the same. And some people don't know how to respond when you give them that type of mode of conversation. But it all comes from the fact that all humans are different. All humans have different modes of communication. All humans have different rates of processing data. So life is, diversity is the principle. You have to know that the more you know that everything is diverse, the more you will be having many ways of dealing with people. So what's going to happen in the world? We are living generalization. Especially if you want to deal with problems, you deal with them specifically. Specifically, like look at the World Bank, look at IMF, look at UN. They deal with nations as per nation because one nation is not the other nation. Yes, one nation, the way they do their things is not how another nation does it. So you have to solve their problems like that. That's why if I was in, if I don't know if UN does it, maybe they do it, but you give a report form for every country that is in the United Nations, and you say, this country, this is what you're doing, and here you're having problems of maybe nationalism, maybe poverty, maybe what. You give them the report form, and then you deal with, and they try and fix their issues. The same with children, or when you have a child, you can give them a report form and say, here, this is who you are, and I've seen this about you, and that's it. But as I've said, the line between a child and an adult should be respected, because most people don't respect that. They think that when you're still, some people claim that you're a child even when you're 50 years old. You're not a child, you're an adult, and you're just an adult child of somebody. But it doesn't mean you are a child just because you've reached, your parents are still alive. No, that's not what it means. I mean, there are children who don't have parents at all. They are orphans. So what do you call them? Do you call them adults? No, you don't call them adults. They are still children, but they don't have adults that are over their care. So that's the same also with adults. When you have reached adulthood, whether you have parents or not, you're an adult. That's a fact. Whether you have parents or not, you're still an adult, and so someone should treat you that way, especially if you are in parental care. You should, when you have adult children, you treat them as adults, not as kids. That's the mistake many people make. Yeah, and so that is the LGBTQ lifespan. I was just trying to bring about the fact that we are all in different ages from 0 to 100, and all of us have different age expressions. And in each age expression, it doesn't mean that all 20-year-olds behave like all 20-year-olds. There are some 20-year-olds that do things that 30-year-olds do, and there are some 20-year-olds that do things that 5-year-old people do, and there are 30-year-olds who do things that 80-year-old people do. So everybody is in a different what you call it, age spectrum. Even though numerically you may be age 30, mentally you may be age 80, mentally you may be age 6. Yes, it's a fact. Some people, it's beautiful when you get to know the science of diversity. You'll find people are different like that, and all you do is collect data. That's why to me nobody is useless in this world. Absolutely, because everybody is a study specimen. Is a specimen for study, because you will study something about somebody that you'll never find anywhere in the world. And what you've studied, that you will see, okay, this person behaves like this. He does this. Okay, And why do we do that? Why is it? Because we hate people, or we want to judge people? No, it's not judging. It's who you are, because it's a sign. It confirms the principle that diversity is king. It 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 even makes you study, let you know how to solve a problem when you see it repeated. Because another thing about human nature is that much as we are diverse, there are some expressions that are repeated again, and some people become like 10 years from now you'll find someone who is just like me, looks like me, talks like me, and maybe is also LGBTQ like me. So what will happen? You will use the data you've collected about me and compare it to that person and see where there are differences and where there are commonalities. So just understand that there are old people who are LGBTQ, there are young people who are LGBTQ, there are children who are LGBTQ, and we have to. That's why we call it an LGBTQ planet.